Gentlemen, welcome back for another week.
How you going,
Round
Diz?
22 is upon us. I tell you what, we're getting to the pointy end of the season, aren't we?
We are. How good?
Yeah, and the upsets keep coming. There's some strange results last
It's a
weekend,
t
and
it's a tipping nightmare, isn't it?
Oh,
Really?
it
if you're
is,
winning the
and a
tipping comps, you
punting
know nothing.
nightmare.
Whoever's winning the tipping comps knows nothing about footy. I tell you that much.
That's true.
It has nothing to do with me doing poorly. I promise.
There's no form guide. In all seriousness, there's dead set
Uh,
no form guide.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
probably happen again this weekend.
yeah.
Maybe a
There's some
little bit.
games that look easy, but they're the ones I've learnt you got to be very careful with.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
what
right.
about the bloody Sharks last week?
Yeah, mm,
Like that, they should have won by a cricket score, really, on paper. But
yeah, and almost lost, and then Manly winning down in Melbourne.
Oh,
No one wins in Melbourne.
yeah, well.
and then they get towed up. Work
Mm,
that out.
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, you can't get it in the Titans. I mean, who gave the Titans a chance in New Zealand?
yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I mean, I know it was Dez's 500th, but they're a busted. They're a basket case at the
Yeah,
moment.
well, Des is getting the sack. I can tell you that. Winning New Zealand or not, he's gone.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Is
the
that
Warriors,
when? Is he gone now or when?
no, they'll keep him till the end of the year. Like
Okay.
what's the point of sacking him now? There's
Yeah,
half a
yeah.
dozen games to go or so.
you can't sack him after a win either.
I don't think.
Exactly. Yeah, he,
Mind
he
you, they've
might
done
have
it
might have
before.
gone had they got a thumping over there, but such a good win. And
Yeah.
we've been saying all year, haven't we? They got some good players, the Titans. They just need someone to pull it all together, and no
I
one's
think
been
it's
able to
more the
do it.
Warriors are falling off the perch a little bit.
Yeah, they are, and they've lost James Fisher Harris this week and
Yeah, Harris to
Nell
Vita.
Davida Harris. Mind you, I like Tamari Martin, and I think he should be the seven, not Tanner Boyd. He just
I
doesn't
agree.
Tanner Boyd.
Well, I've
Yeah, yeah,
heard there
I
might
agree.
be a few late shuffles. I think Chance Nickel Clockstad might move to centre and Tane to a peaky to fullback.
I
So
would live with that. I think that'd be a better.
yeah, that team list I don't think is concrete. Got a bit of inside goss there, but
Yeah.
let's get stuck into it. I tell you what hasn't been consistent. Some of these referees. Let, let's
We're gonna we're not starting with officials,
let
are we?
let's
Seriously.
let's get into this right now. I want to start this way purely because it's my team in the firing line here, and I'm going to bag my team, right? Which is unusual.
So this could be the first time ever this has happened, I reckon. Yeah, go on.
But look, the Tigers got penalised just before halftime, and the game was in the balance. It was a tight game. It was, I believe, 10-2 at the time, or 12-2 at the time. And the Tigers got pinged for not playing the ball with their foot. The following set, Penrith rolled the ball on every single tackle
Hmm.
and scored.
Yeah, this roll ball's a joke, and then they seem to forget about it for 3, 4 weeks, and then put on a blitz. And the fans are sick of it. The players don't like it. There's no consistency. Yeah, and I agree with you. You look at any set of six tackles, and I challenge you to find a set of six where at
Yeah.
least once a bloke has actually touched the ball with his foot.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a pretty easy situation to sort of fix, isn't it? They're either fair dinkum about them making them attempt to play the ball properly, which therefore they then penalise every incorrect one, regardless of how many there is, or they continue to let it go like they're doing it. Because you can't just spot pick random ones like you're
Yeah.
saying, Diz. That's
Well,
just
it's
And
almost like you need to like you look at the Super League game. I mean, I watched Super League. I followed the Huddersfield Giants quite closely. My old boy used to play for them, and I got a couple of close friends that play for them now. But every single like it's a roll ballathon. Like
Mm,
there's no such thing as it's like touch football
yeah, right.
in
mm.
in the English Super League. So like if they penalise every single one, it's going to be a disastrous game of football.
Yeah. And we all know come semi-final times, particularly elimination finals, grand final, it'll go out the window. There's no way they're going to bring it in when a team season's on the line.
Well, you just hate for a decision like as you described to cost a team, a
Mm.
premiership. That's what we don't want to see. Like you're either, as I said, you're either fair dinkum about making them do it properly or not, and stop then spot penalising players because let's face it, Everyone does it. No one plays the ball correctly. I don't reckon I've seen a foot hit the ball from a play the ball in 25 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's the stuff that the fans hate. I mean, there's gross inconsistencies and subjective rules, and it's just it's turning some fans off the game. I know Volandi's harps on about, it's at an all-time high and all this sort of stuff, but I know plenty of people who have actually stopped watching the game because of inconsistencies.
Yeah, I keep getting messages from people saying, that's it, I'm never watching again. But I don't believe them. I reckon they have a sneaky peek.
That's just
But
frustration.
they are frustrated, and
Yeah,
it's a
that's what
worry.
it is. Yeah.
And we're frustrated, talking about it. And this week, Belinda Sharp got sacked, the
Yeah.
Saw
only
that.
female referee in the NRL. She's going to be running the line, and she
So what
deserved to be
was
sacked. I've got
yeah,
to
so
say.
Let's be
what
honest,
were
she's
the
had a
calls in
couple of
that game?
howlers.
Like what were the calls in that game though that led to sort of
Oh, look,
I
there
missed
were
that
just
game.
several bad calls she made, missed forward passes. The big call in that game, and it's going to play out tonight, was the Jack White and sin binning, but that wasn't her, that was the bunker. But I think it won't hurt Jack White in the fact that she's been dropped, because she blew the whistle and then the bunker got involved. I'm pretty passionate in supporting Jack White on this one, and normally, they're 50-50, but I reckon it was a head clash that did the damage, that knocked the guy out, not a shoulder charge. And
Yeah, so I agree with you, Molly, but what I will say in defense of is he didn't attempt to actually wrap his arms. He did cock the shoulder. Although the shoulder didn't make contact with the head, I don't think he actually made an attempt to actually tackle properly. So you're
Yeah,
right, it was a head clash, and I can live with that. But it looked like he didn't make an attempt. I don't care either way whether he gets off or he doesn't.
Yeah.
But again, how many times do we see a guy's shoulder make first contact and the arms are down? It's just a bloke isn't knocked out. So
Well, it's pretty much every fullback coming around and coming across in cover, isn't it? That really, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really tough one, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Look,
would
a lot
hate
of the
to
refs
be.
have made a few poor decisions as well. And Belinda Sharp's a bit of I wouldn't call it a scapegoat. I actually had a really good chat to the NRL today, funnily enough, organising final tickets for Vegas this afternoon. And Belinda Sharp is allegedly being dropped because I think there's 10 captain's challenges in the last 3 weeks, and 9 of them were successful.
Yeah, but can we see Ashley Klein's record now? I reckon he'd be up there.
So that must be one of their KPIs then, like captain's challenges.
Well, I suppose
overturning-
that's how they can assess whether it's actually the referee's call, whether it's correct or not, as opposed to
Oh,
get
they've got literally a split second to make a decision. I mean,
But
I think there
also-
needs to be some leeway given.
It's rough because how many times does the bunker actually make a challenge successful or unsuccessful, or even the inconclusive evidence
Well, that's right.
challenging,
Yeah.
where you still see a bunker call or a captain's challenge and you go, nah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
On Belinda Sharp, there was one bizarre call, and I think it was the Tavita Totola try. She was right on the try line. She sent it up as no try, and they've come back and said, because of the position of the referee right on the try line, we're giving the try. So, you just can't work it out. Like 99% of the time when the bunker gets involved, it's a no try. But they're saying because she was there, even though she said it was a no try, they're going, yes, it's a try. So, that just left me just totally perplexed.
Well, I've got another scenario for you here, and it happened in the Broncos Eels game, right? Todd Smith was the referee. Toddy's having a shocker of late, I reckon.
shocking.
So Brisbane made a break, get down inside the Eels 20. Now their defensive line's in tatters. The Eels give away a penalty. Wasn't a sin bin. They give away a penalty, and he blows an actual penalty, right? So all the players stop, but then he goes, oh, it's inside the 20. It's actually not a penalty. It's a 6 again.
I saw that. that.
Yeah.
So my issue with that is you've literally taken all the momentum away because all of a sudden now the Parramatta defensive line gets back. Now, I'm not saying Brisbane would have won the game because of this, but they didn't score from this. I would have thought they would have been a fair chance of scoring if that defensive line wasn't set and it was just a quick 6 again. They were able to shift it to the right, potentially outnumbered, scored, right? but
Yeah.
allowing the Eels by an error from the official. So my question is, in that situation, if it happens again, what should we do? Or what should they do?
Oh, the 6 agains. I mean, I didn't want to bring it up.
But no, seriously, what should they do? Because it's a penalty. It's a penalty between the 30s, isn't it, or the 40s?
Over the 40-metre
Anything
line.
Over the 40-metre line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only how they they're trying to interpret the actual rules, they're
Yeah.
also got to work out where the hell they are on the field. So
Well,
Yeah.
any
It's
time a
tough for the
team
referee.
has momentum, like any time, like if you went and watched a game on the weekend and just focused purely on the refereeing decision, anytime a team has a momentum over the 40-metre line, the opposition team will give away a 6 again on purpose in the first 1 or 2 tackles, just
Yeah.
to slow the momentum down.
and that's
Knowing
where I
they
feel
won't
like a
get-
referee could have a little bit more feel for the game.
Well, is it are they allowed to?
Like Melbourne. Melbourne are the kings at it. We all know this. We've spoken about this before. Melbourne will defend their line and will push the referee to the brink at the ruck. And I've seen 3 or 4 6 agains in a row on the line. The referee warns them and nothing happens. Like, that's where I think the referee could have a bit of a feel for the game. Okay, well, they're doing this. They're clearly doing this on purpose. But get proactive. Get on the front foot. Maybe sit someone down. This is where the 5-minute. I mean, I could talk about this
They
all
can
day.
tell if a team's doing it on purpose or not.
100%. And this is where a 5-minute sin bin needs to come in. I'm sorry. I'm a big advocate for that. I've spoken about it before. For little indiscretions or slowing down, play the balls and stuff, I don't see why we can't have a 5-minute sin bin because a 10 minutes.
Yeah, I could live with that. I never understood why they got rid of the 5-minute sin bin. It worked fine for minor offences and then
Minor offences, correct, Molly? Yeah, exactly
10
right.
minutes for something more serious.
If you want to sit there on your line and you want to continually slow it down so your defensive line's set, well, you can go and sit down for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we can't do that. And then I think it'll allow the referees to have a bit more of a feel for the game and they won't be as scared to sit people down. Because I think at the moment they're so worried about sitting a player down for 10 minutes because in 10 minutes teams can rack up 3 and 4 tries these days.
Well, they can actually have an opinion without getting, I guess, scrutinized for it.
Yeah.
Like, because they can literally say, well, that was my opinion at the time. So,
Yeah, that's right.
But as Diz said, I don't think they're allowed to have a feel for the game or allowed to have an opinion because basically they get sat down on the Monday, they go through the video and they're told you didn't do this by the letter of the law because that's what the NRL want. They want it all by the letter of the law, so it's allegedly consistent, but it's not consistent.
No,
We
it's
know
never.
and
It's never going
it's
to
a
be
mess.
consistent.
well, I tell you what was, and it was it Harry Grant's try? Someone scored a try on
Which
the weekend
one?
where
That got
someone
taken off him?
stood in the line and they gave it a try.
Yeah.
It was actually using a bit of common sense for a change.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, geez, all right, let's use it for one try. How about the rest?
Well, that's it. The problem is the next day the same thing happened and it was no try. So again, consistency just went straight out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Todd Smith before, the Broncos Eels, Dicko. Like he was terrible, but let's talk about the Broncos.
Do we have to?
Yeah, look, it's rough, and I know it's a topic you don't want to discuss. I just feel like every time they get some bit of momentum, they have this random, really bang average performance. And it's their own, like they're their own worst enemy. Like they haven't actually played that bad, but at crucial times in the game, I just feel like, we spoke about it briefly before the potty. Like we're not a massive fan of, them not being resilient. We think that's a bit of hoo-ha. I think it's just them making crucially poor decisions at the wrong times of the game. Like,
And who's the one player who's leading the way?
yeah, well, say no more. Reece Walsh trying to throw a cutout pass on the first tackle when it's 10-8 and 2 minutes to go till half time. Like, just stuff like that is just stupid.
I actually wrote a story last year that the Broncos sat him down and said, just slow your play down, slow your brain down, slow your thought process down. He's working at 1,000,000 miles an hour And you can see it. He's overthinking, he's overplaying his hand, and it's creating carnage. And he was credited with 3 errors. I reckon he made 4 or 5 in that. He would throw a bullet pass to a poor bloke standing right next to him, who then drops it. And the other bloke's credited with the error, not him. But he's really screwing him up. And, I don't know what Madge does about it.
Well, I know Dicko's got an opinion on this, but I just want to chime in real quick. I actually feel sorry for Reece Walsh a little bit, and I think he's been pinned as the scapegoat. And yes, he is the problem most of the time, but I think the coaches have a little bit to answer for here. If I'm the coach of Reece Walsh, I would not be taking away when you've got a player that's flary and you try and take their flair away, they're just not the same player. People just need to accept, and Reece Walsh will learn, but I think he's been told, look, cut this out of your game completely at certain points in time rather than playing what he sees. And I think that's actually affecting him to second guess himself sometimes in games. And then he'll make a pass that he probably should have taken a bit more risk. He doesn't in the attacking third. And then in the defensive third, he throws a miracle ball when he shouldn't. Whereas previously that wasn't happening. I felt like he was a better player a year ago than what he is now. I think taming him back has had a negative effect.
Even a few years ago at the Warriors, like he was the best young player in the game, unchallenged. He was.
I reckon I figured it out. But first on the game, I think we've got to give credit to Parramatta. I thought Parramatta were really, really good. All right, they definitely didn't play like a second last team. They're a different team with Moses. He kicked Brisbane into submission. But in terms of Walsh, you're right. He was probably a better player a couple of years ago, especially when Brisbane went to the grand final. But we need to realise also, Brisbane can't win the comp unless he's the fullback, right? Cannot win the comp unless he's the fullback, right? Can't win a competition without him, all right? But where I feel like he's letting himself down is he's playing too much like a 5'8". He's calling for the ball all the time. If you remember 2023 when Brisbane made their run to the grand final, and if you look through the highlights of that season, there's a lot of highlights of Reece just running the footy. He's gone away from his running game.
Yeah, he's not bursting and making line breaks
He's
anymore.
trying to create from his passing game. I, as a fan, want to see him run the footy more because when he calls for it too much, which is what I believe he's doing at the moment, Ezra Mam is then taken out of the game. Like Ezra Mam was nowhere to be seen on last Friday.
His form's gone right away, hasn't it?
Just because of that, right?
Yeah, I think Walsh just needs to play more like a fullback and just go back to his running game. All right?
Yeah, great. Yeah. And you saw Matty Burton and Galvin think run first. I know different position, but it's almost like Reece Walsh needs to adopt the same thing. Like have a run first mentality.
Yeah.
Well, the try Brisbane scored, I can't remember who actually crossed the line, but Walsh took the line on, he made the break and was draw the fullback and we scored. I can't remember who it was.
Billy Walters.
Was it Billy Walters? Yeah. That try, that is what we want to see him.
And that was brilliant.
We want to see him doing that. The ball playing predominantly is for Mam. Look at what he did against the Bulldogs, Ezra Mam, in the 15, 20-minute spurt, right? Put Brisbane over the line with his ball-playing ability. We want to see Ezra Mam as fans, and we want to see Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt as the ball players. Walsh should be just out the back of that, really identifying the lazy defenders around the 3 and the 4 in, the back rower and the halfback and the 5'8" of the opposition, and really going at them is what I would like to see.
And what's happening is the oppositions, because, I mean, everyone said it, Reece Walsh is the scariest player to come up against defensively when he's running the football. The quickest player, Roger Fabry came out and said the quickest player over 40 metres is Reece Walsh. So he needs to get back to that because now teams are like, oh, well, where's the threat coming from?
But his biggest problem is he's his own worst enemy because when he makes a mistake, he wants to do everything he can to try and make up for that mistake instead of just forgetting about it because we all make mistakes, right? We all drop a ball. We all, throw a pass forward or whatever. Don't try so hard, mate. Just get back into the grind. Get back to running the footy because that's where he's best, is what I would like to see anyway. And it's a really simple message that I would give him. Is just go back to running the footy. Let your 5'8" and your halfback and your hooker really guide the team around. I don't even want to see Walsh kicking in general play. Like, that's Adam Reynolds' job. That's why Brisbane got Adam Reynolds to the club. All right?
Yeah.
Lead the team around the park. All right? I don't want to see Walsh kicking unless Reynolds gets caught on a fifth tackle, maybe. But you don't want to see him. Just we almost want to sit back now and the less we see of Walsh, the better, because we know what we're going to see is going to be quality.
Well, it's not a good sign for the Broncos when your best player for the last month has probably been the 14 coming off the bench.
How good's he going?
He's going amazing. Billy Walters, like, seriously.
But in terms of, I had a fear that was going to happen. They're coming off a bye. They were given a lot of time off, which was unusual amount of time off for I think they were given a full week off, all of them. So that was unusual, I thought. I think it had to be done, but I just thought it was a bit unusual. But I had a fear they would come out a little bit sloppy, to which they did. And I thought Parramatta again played really well. Like, I think we got to give heaps of credit to Para. I thought they were excellent.
Yeah. Is there any more influential player for a team than Moses?
Oh, I don't think so. What do you reckon, Molly? I don't reckon.
Probably him and Cleary are the two.
Maybe Latrell at South Sydney, maybe, but I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Latrell's hot gold though too.
But Moses' kicking game, in all serious, like, if Australian selectors are fair income at the end of the season, they have a massive decision to make on the Australian halfback for this Ashes series. Because if you use state of origin,
what will they take? They take 3 halves.
Yeah, probably. If
they use hard because they're going to have Munster, Dearden, Cleary, and Moses.
Dearden can play a 14. Don't forget, he can play a 14 role. Yeah. But if you're using state of origin as selection, it has to be Dearden and Munster. If you're using club form, you'd probably have to say it Cleary. But Moses, his kicking game is the best kicking game in the comp. Long kicking game is what I'm talking about. Is the best kicking game by a mile in the comp. So, yeah. I thought they were excellent, Parramatta.
Yeah, they were unbelievable. Now, Molly, we spoke last week. Unfortunately, you weren't on the show, but favourites to win the comp at the moment. Who are you thinking right now? Who can actually win?
Yeah, well, I mean, all year we've been saying Storm pretty much, haven't we? Then when Jerome Hughes hobbled off with his shoulder the other day, but it's not as bad as first thought. But I've had that shoulder myself, and once it dislocates, the chances of it dislocating again are massive. He'll have surgery in the off season and could well break down.
We'll just look at Olakau'atu.
Yeah, exactly. First game back. And I don't think they can win it without Hughes. So
no, I don't either. You're right.
It's wide open. I think he actually, when you speak of influential players,
can they win it with Hughes with a bung shoulder?
Well, if it pops out again, it's see you later. You come back next season. So, I don't see Cooper Cronk. We're all thinking of, but it was a different injury. It was a broken collarbone. You can sort of needle that up and put padding in there, but once your shoulder pops out, believe me, you're in a world of pain.
Will we see him before the end of the season, the regular season, do you think, Molly, or will they put him on ice?
They're talking 6 weeks. So I reckon Craig Bellamy would want him to have one run in possibly the final round.
Great. That's against Brisbane. Look forward to that one. Love that.
Just get someone to smash him.
Yeah, well, get Payne Haas to run at him.
He's injured as well, mate.
Yeah, true. It's going to be, I mean, we've hit the nail on the head. It's going to be the survival of the fittest, and it usually is. But, as we've seen this year, the injuries have just been more.
Who are you locking in? If you were to name a team right now, who are you locking in?
Probably Melbourne still.
Yeah, right.
A lot to do with Bellamy and assuming they get it right with Hughes.
Well, I must admit, when Hughes got injured and they were down by 8 points against the Chooks, I thought the Chooks were going to well and truly run away with it. I know, Dicko, you text me mid-game and went, I can't believe I didn't tip the Chooks.
Yeah, they should have won, mate. They definitely won.
I thought the same. I tipped Melbourne. I thought I'm on the wrong horse here now. And in a way, his injury is a sign that Melbourne could win the comp and probably should win the comp.
How good was Harry Grant?
Yeah, they played better without him. And let's not forget, of the spine, Munster, Pappenhaus and Hughes were all missing. So Grant was carrying the team. And as good performances you've
And
seen.
let's not write off Tyron Wishart. I think he's
a gun, mate. Absolute gun.
Real good player.
So let me ask you then, Dicko, are the Storm cooked now with Hughes out, or
No, because they're going to play finals. So no, and he's going to play in those finals. So, but what I wanted to ask you guys, and I heard on radio a bit this week, are we not showing enough respect in terms of for premiership favourites to the Raiders?
Well, they keep winning, don't they? And we keep waiting from the fall. And the last 2 weeks they've played Parramatta and Newcastle. And in both games they were ordering the first half. One they were trailing, the other one they drew. But the 2 second halves, they won 54-0. So, there's something special about the Raiders. Ricky's, they're obviously super fit to be able to do that in second half. Give the other team a sniff and then just run over them. And I think they're up to 9 in a row. So we can't rule them out. That's
why I ask that is because I'm just looking at Sportsbet here for the grand final winner. They've got Melbourne favourites at $3.25, and they've got the Raiders, Bulldogs, and the Panthers all at $5. Now, I think that's a little bit disrespectful, to be honest, to the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders have been clearly the best team all year. So for me, they deserve to be the favourite to win the comp. Like, I know Melbourne have got the big four and all that, and, but I would have thought that betting market there doesn't really give a true reflection of what I think. I think the grand final, right at this point in time, could be the Raiders v. the Bulldogs.
Yeah, could be.
I don't necessarily believe in myself that will be it, but I think there's no reason why that couldn't happen.
I think the three it's going to be between are those two in Melbourne for sure. I can't see anyone else really challenging him.
Look, most people had him tipped for the spoon, including, myself close to the bottom this year. What I will say about the Raiders, take nothing away from what they've done this season because it's been truly incredible. But the first 2 rounds of the year, they played the Warriors and the Broncos and won both of those fixtures. Since then, they beat the Storm by 2 points. And literally every other team they've played have been garbage. Like absolute garbage all year. Like, go through their fixtures. And they finished the year off with Dragons this week. Manly at home, who are hot and cold. Tigers, Dolphins, and they play Penrith. If they can beat Penrith,
where's that going?
Round 25 in Mudgee at a neutral ground, then I'd say they're well and truly deserved to be premiership favourites. But if Penrith come out and beat Canberra, then what are you thinking? And if they win convincingly...
Well, if they get the minor premiership, which they should, then there's no way you can say, well,
they could run out. Yeah, they could run out half the team missing against Penrith.
Yeah,
if they've got minor premiers wrapped up. So
yeah, because I think they got a bye as well in there, so they must have it.
Let's just say that I don't think any team in the top 8 is going to go through the rest of the season undefeated.
Yeah.
No team is going to go through undefeated because the comp is that close. You've got the Titans beating the Warriors last week. For all something could happen. Rabbitohs could beat the Broncos on Friday night. The way it's going, who knows? Sure. But what I'm saying is that no team is going to go through undefeated.
Yeah. But if one team is going to be, it'll be Penrith.
That'll take them, if they go through undefeated, that'll take them up to about, 15 in a row by the time that happens?
Yeah. But they're on a roll. They started terribly and now they've got it all together.
And last week was the first week that they had their full team all year.
And look what they did to the poor Tigers.
But look, I don't know. Warriors, I think, are custard. I think it's literally the Raiders, Bulldogs. And I think the Storm are custard too. I reckon Raiders, Bulldogs, Penrith, and Broncos, if they can go on a streak, are the only 4 teams that can win the comp.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins can do some damage. They probably can't get to the grand final, but
and if they make the 8, you wouldn't want to verse them.
No, that's what I was about to say. The same thing. You would not want to play the Dolphins. That's for sure. You would not want to play them in a final.
Particularly in a sudden death game because they play every game like it's sudden death. They just
and I think they do make the 8. I think they make the 8.
Yeah, I think they do too.
So
And
they'll
wouldn't
play.
it be good to see them there? Because I just love the way they play footy. They play footy better than any team in the comp.
Well,
Players throwing the ball around.
it could be Molly if they make the 8. It could be an elimination final of Broncos versus Dolphins at Suncorp
Mm,
if
yeah.
if they make the 8.
Mm,
All right. So
Yeah,
that
really that one.
that'll be 52,500 people in Brisbane at that game.
yeah.
How good would that be?
Well, let's get stuck into round 22, gents, and let's hear what your selections are. First game, Thursday night footy, Eels versus the Storm. Big game. Obviously, Storm coming off that narrow into the Chooks and the Eels beating the Bronx. What are we thinking here? Obviously, no Jerome Hughes. Pappenhausen is back, and so is Munster. Wishart takes over at 7.
Trent Liero's out too.
Trent Liero is out. I'll tell you what, Tui Kemikamika as a ball playing lock's a bit interesting call. I don't know if there'll be much ball playing going on there. I think that'll just be another forward. What do you reckon, guys?
I think with Pappenhausen and Munster back, that's just about the full spine apart from Hughes. And as we said, Wishart's a good player. So I don't think Parra can do it 2 weeks in a row. They were great last week, but I think Melbourne fairly convincingly.
Yeah, I'm with the Mole on this. I think, just on paper, Melbourne are just too classy. But I'm interested to see how Parramatta do back up in what you said there, Moley. Like from a really good performance, and they seem like they've got a bit of a game plan now that suits them. Like Riles has really started to implement. I like what he's done at the Eels. I like they've moved on from Dylan Brown. I like that decision. He's not going to be there. Let's get him out and give someone that's going to be there for the future a bit of a go. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how the Eels go. I don't give them a chance, but I do think they'll make it difficult for the Storm. Storm will have to play well to win.
Yeah, be a very interesting game.
Yeah, kudos to Riles. He's made some, ballsy moves, and most of them have paid off.
They've all paid off, mate. They've all paid off.
Well, having said that, though, they are second last, so there must have been a few dud calls there.
They played Penrith 3 weeks ago, and to be honest, the game was closer than the scoreline reflected. Penrith only scored a few late tries. Same with Raiders. They actually gave them a good run for their money, and then they've beaten Broncos. I'm going an upset, guys. I think the Eels can do it. I think the Eels can win this weekend.
We'll have a little side wager once we go off here.
Yeah, buddy. I'm real keen on the Eels, actually. I'm really keen on the Eels. I think Storm will really struggle without Jerome Hughes and his kicking game.
How much start are you going to give me?
I'll give you five points. I think the Eels could win 13 plus.
You've lost your mind.
No, honestly, I'm a big fan of the Eels. I actually think they can win. I think Moses' kicking game versus Storm's kicking game is going to be chalk and cheese, and I think that might prove to be the difference. 370
concussed while I was away.
Hey,
were you concussed while I was away?
Mate, 370 in Parramatta without Jerome Hughes is crazy odds.
It's a good price, but I'm not going to take it.
Just while we're on the Storm here, we just got some. I'm just reading. Molly, you might know this. Ryan Pappenhausen has reportedly held a meeting.
Yes.
Power brokers of the Rebel Rugby 360 competition.
Yes.
So they're potentially going to offer him in excess of 1.5 to 2 million per year.
Yeah, and this Rebel Rugby comp's going to be a real pain in the ass because they're going to be targeting blokes, and blokes will go for the money. You know what they're like, and their managers. So, yeah, I don't even want to get into it because it's just going to be
We spoke a little bit about it last week, Molly, on the podcast, just from what we sort of knew from what's been reported. But it's interesting that now Pappenhausen has held a meeting, yeah. Because how close was Pappenhausen, Molly, to signing with a Sydney club before he extended with the Storm? Was he close to leaving Melbourne?
I don't think so. Not many quality players leave Melbourne, do they? They just don't lose them.
Okay.
Unless a Saudi oil sheik throws a few Mercedes to them on the side.
Yeah, there's no salary cap auditing in the Rugby 360 comp, is there?
No tax either.
No, yeah, well, no. So that's a bit of a watch this space. especially with Jerome Hughes re-signing and yeah, I don't know
Are
what.
you surprised by the money that's been thrown at Jerome Hughes there? In excess of $1 million a year,
Well, he's a
31 this year.
he's a Dally M winner. I would have thought he's still one of the elite halfbacks. He's probably the top 2 or 3 halfbacks in the
I just
comp.
thought Melbourne would be, I don't know, the salary cap's a bit different now, but I thought they would have been a little bit more smart
Yeah.
with their money.
I rate him number one. That's how highly I rate him. But
Yeah.
how long did he sign for? Was it 4 or
4
5?
years, yeah, extended
Yeah.
for 4.
I think you'll find most of these 4-year deals, especially 5-year deals, they never get seen out. You know, he'll play 3, he'll be 34, he'll be injured, and they'll say, "Look, we'll give you a job for life, or go to England for a year," and they'll pay some of it. So it's a sort of shrewd tactical move, I think, to get him on board for the rest
Just
of the career.
just sort of just moving. Any Perth Bear sort of rumor?
Well, always a
Them.
chance. It's going to be like this rugby 360. It's going to be always lurking in the background, and then 12 months from now we'll be talking about PNG and who they're
So
going to
is there
throw
any
bucket
is there
loads
any
at.
sort of rumors of who they're targeting, the Perth Bears? Like any
Oh,
marquee signing?
I think it's anyone and everyone, and
Is it?
PNG will be
Okay.
the same, and the rugby will be the same. There's so many good quality players, and some will take the money and run.
Hearing Jaden Campbell's a big chance.
Oh, I also heard, and I don't necessarily believe this, but Cameron Munster, 2 mil a year. They want, but they would have to get permission from Melbourne to talk to him early because he's not up for. He won't be. You can't speak to him until not this November,
Yeah.
the following November.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and Melbourne would be crazy to say yes, but just by asking, they're letting the cat out of the bag. Yes,
Yeah.
we want him. Yes, we'll throw big money at him. So
Whichever marquee they get, if it's a big marquee like a Munster or whoever it might be, Ponga or let's say whoever, I think they're going to get close to 2 mil.
yeah,
I
they'd
think
have
they'll
to.
get
You got
they'll
to
be the
pay
highest.
overs,
Yeah, they'll be the highest paid player in the comp.
and they're talking about giving him salary cap concessions, and I think they deserve it. It's very hard to start a new franchise.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
that's a watch this space too. Yeah, for sure.
Now, Warriors versus Dolphins, guys. Big outs. Dicko, you mentioned before, and Moley, Harris Tavita, James Fisher Harris. Wade Egan's also got the concussion protocol.
Yeah, and they're really going to miss
So,
him. It's when
yeah.
he went off the field the other day that things started to fall apart. I think he's a very underrated player, Wade Egan.
Yeah, yep.
Well, the Dolphins actually have Nick Arima, Felice Kafusi, and Mark Nichols all coming back. So
Yeah.
3 outs for the Warriors, 3 ins for the Dolphins. What do we think? Does Warriors slippery slope continue, or are we
The
thinking
only
they're
thing in
going
their
to win?
favour is it's in New Zealand, isn't it? But then
Yep.
they've lost plenty of games in New Zealand, like last week. And if the Titans can beat them, a full strength or pretty close to full strength Dolphins team can certainly beat them. So I'm tempted to go to Dolphins.
Oh, I'm thinking the easy tip here is to probably pick the Dolphins, just from the form of the Warriors of late. But that, again, they're at home, and I don't like tipping against the Warriors when they're at home. Because they're generally so good. They play. It will be a full house. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a genuine 50-50 for me. I mean, if I had to pick one, I would probably. I don't know whether the Dolphins have, in their short existence, have travelled well at all anywhere. So they only won in Sydney for the first time this year. So I'd probably, if I had to pick, it'd be the Warriors at home.
Yeah, lock in the Dolphins for me.
Just didn't even listen to what I said. Bang,
No,
locking the Dolphins.
honestly, I think the Warriors have been poor for a number of weeks, and they
Well,
should have
since
lost
Luke,
to
Luke
the
Metcalf
Knights.
went,
Yeah.
it's really been
Yeah.
a
They
struggle.
should have lost to the Knights a couple of weeks ago, and were, I would almost go, convincingly beaten by the Titans, which is concerning.
Yes.
And the Dolphins attack, oof, good luck to the Warriors. But anyway, lock in the Dolphins. We'll see what happens. Broncos and Rabbitohs. Now, Selwyn Cobbo is on one wing, Dean Mariner on the other, and they've dropped Jesse Arthurs and Karapani. What do you make of that, Dicko?
I think you can read into it. There's 2 ways. I think it's.
Is that a yardage carries?
Well,
call?
that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, 2 ways. So I think it's a yardage thing for sure.
Yeah.
So, although I thought Karapani's a little bit hard done by, I think he's been quite good. I thought he was quite good last week. I thought Jesse Arthur's last week probably had his worst game in 2 years.
Well, it doesn't help Karapani when Shibasaki's decided not to pass the ball ever again.
Well, yeah, but I think it could be that. It also could be that Mariner and Cobbo have been in the reserves for the last 6 weeks and actually haven't had a game.
Yeah, righto.
So I don't know whether it's that. You could read it any which way you like, but I think it's one of those scenarios that they try maybe want to give him a game as opposed to playing him in an intra-super cup game. But
Now,
yeah,
let's
It's a bit odd though, isn't it? You get badly beaten and you drop your two wingers. It's a strange move by.
it is strange. But if you think, like as I said, Moses' kicking game really pinned us down, the Broncos down in their end, and they really struggled to get out of there. And Cobbo brings the ball back really well, and Mariner's got some footwork at the line that can do a bit of damage. So maybe it's that. I feel like it's more of a case of they haven't played in a few weeks. They would give him some game time as opposed to. And Jesse Arthurs is carrying a bit of a rib injury. He was out for a few weeks with a broken rib. So, whether it's that or not, I'm not sure.
And Lewis Dodd's time's up already. He's gone.
Yeah, one game and he's gone.
But you would think he would come in if White gets canned.
Or will the young fella come in? Ashton Ward.
Yeah, it's a big decision for him.
Look, I think Wayne Bennett's given up the ghost this year already, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and it's a big ask for a kid to come in and play.
Surely Whiten doesn't get on. But
Well,
you never know. You never know. Even if he does play,
I think he at least gets a week. I'd be surprised if it goes from a 3-week suspension to nothing.
Well, they might find him not guilty and say, "Oh, right, it was the headbutt rather than the shoulder charge." So,
maybe
some chance.
Or just when their forward pack issues couldn't get any worse, Tavita Totola's now gone. So they've got
they do get
Guy
Jamie
Arrow.
Humphries back, who's
Guy Arrow's gone from second row to lock to now prop.
yeah. Jamie Humphries will help. He's
big time.
not a bad player, although he was certainly going better earlier in the season.
Look, I think it'll help him maybe get 6 points, but I can see this being 50-6.
Well, let's hope so. I think if Brisbane don't win this, they're a joke, to be honest.
Yeah,
they've got to win this.
I saw a long-time South fan put up, "This is our worst team in 20 years," with all the
They've got 20 players out.
Yeah.
20.
So they should win by 50 if they're fair income, as we said.
Yeah, that's right.
And as I said to someone, the Broncos haven't been fair income too often this year. So
no, so if Brisbane are fair income premiership, got any chance of a premiership or any sort of thoughts about winning the comp, they've got to do what you guys have just said this weekend. It's as simple as that. It's really is that simple.
Yeah. Any team, no offense, that's got Jacob Host starting in the second row, they are in big strife. All right, Titans versus the Panthers. The odds are very heavily in favour of Penrith. I'm not so sure about that.
this will be a good test for them for this winning run, because the Titans showed last week, and I've been saying, I think you guys have too. They got some talent, the Titans.
Well, Penrith struggle against teams that throw the ball around. You saw when Manly threw the ball around against them early in the season, they lost. When the Chooks at one time, I think we played the Chooks and they beat us, and then we beat them, but they threw the ball around a bit at the start of the year.
And they got speed, the Titans, and that'll worry them too. They got real speed. I rate them and the Dolphins as the two quickest teams across the turf.
If they come out with a "we got nothing to lose" attitude and just
which they probably will.
Yeah, I think they're every chance of causing a little bit of a mini upset here.
But having said that, I'm going Panthers.
No, I think you'd be silly to not tip the Panthers. But you're right. I think the Titans have troubled in this run of the Panthers. They've actually troubled Penrith a few times. I think I can remember one game they won a golden point down the Gold Coast.
Defensively, they're just so poor though. That's the bad part,
And they got no Tino this week, and he's the heart and soul of this team. So, I don't.
Tell you what, Jamin Jolliffe stood up last week. He played about 60 minutes straight.
Yeah, it was good.
Good player, really good player. I don't give the Titans I give them a big chance. I don't think they'll win, but Yeah, it's one of those ones where you sort of, I don't reckon you'd be surprised if you picked up the paper
I
the day
don't think
after.
they'll win, but I think it will be like it could be like a 32-26 type
Yeah.
game.
As I said at the start, it'll be a good test for Penrith.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to have to come to play, otherwise they'll get beaten. Simple.
All
Yeah.
right, now Dragons versus Raiders. We've been waiting for the Raiders to fall off the perch. Could it happen this week? They played each other only 3 weeks ago, and it was, I think, only 4 points difference.
It's going to be a game like this where everyone thinks, the Raiders will romp in because the Dragons have been ordinary. They haven't made any changes again after a loss. There's only Jaden Sewer out through injury. He's keeping the same halves. Flano, he's sticking by them. Yeah, I'm going the Raiders.
Yeah, it's hard to tip against the Raiders, isn't it, really? But I mean, I did my tips earlier today before the teams came out because I generally do them so I don't forget. And I found this one really difficult. Part of me actually wanted to try. I mean, I must admit, I am behind in the tipping comp, so I'm trying to make up some ground here. So that may be the reason. But I don't know. I'm giving the Dragons a bit of a chance here at home. Where is it? It's at
It's in
Wynn
Wollongong
Stadium.
as well.
Yeah, Wollongong, they play their best footy. There's no question. And the refs are really intimidated. But then let's not forget, this is Canberra's shortest away trip, isn't it? So,
Well, it's a matter of time before the Raiders. Surely they slip up once before the end
yeah,
of
they're going to lose one.
and when's it going to be? Is it going to be this week, next week? Whatever. Or who knows? They might just keep going. I mean, I doubt it, but yeah, they haven't. I feel like what Dicko was saying earlier in the episode that like they're a little bit hard done by because they just keep winning. And if you remember
And you
back
can only beat the teams that are in front of you, can't you?
yeah. I
That's
mean,
all you can do.
last year Penrith weren't convincing at all, like for a lot of the season. And they definitely got that finals footy mentality style of game, Canberra. They really love that grind back and forth. Fogarty's kicking game's awesome. I think the Raiders will win just because the Dragons halves are garbage.
You know what? I'm going to tip an upset here. I'm going to tip the Dragons.
I like
Good
it.
luck to you. Raiders 2-1.
Hey, we love a bit
Good
of
luck to you. I love it.
I'm really keen on this next game, who you guys are leaning towards, because this stumped me for a good 10, 15 minutes, I reckon. Seagulls versus the Chooks
Yeah, tough one.
at Manly. How much are the Manly Seagulls hurting from that game on the weekend? They've got to be absolutely seething from that. First half was actually close.
I can't believe Manly are favourites in this game.
Yeah, I found that strange too. But then the Roosters
don't
have
get
been
me
hot
started
cold
on
too, haven't they? And they got a lot of injuries. Radley's back. He'll toughen them up, but he'll probably spend 10 minutes in the bin at some stage. So
He's only in the reserves though, Molly. Like he'll have to be named in the team. He's only in the 22.
yeah, I reckon he will be.
You reckon? Okay.
Yeah.
Billy Smith's back.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I really thought they
Ardu's
missed him
gone.
last week. I really thought they missed him against last week. I reckon if he played, they win.
I'm genuinely still undecided.
No, I think the Roosters win this. I've tipped the Roosters in this. I don't like Manly at all. I think they're a beaten favourite. They almost get the green tarp up around them and put them down. They're gone.
Yeah, at Brookvale they beat bad sides, but they don't beat good sides as we've seen this year.
The Roosters are good.
Roosters aren't a bad side, and Sammy Walker's playing well. It is a tough game, but I'm leaning Roosters.
This is the Roosters season, isn't it? This game here.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so they're gone. They got to win this. I'm tipping the Roosters. I saw enough last week in the Roosters to really sort of think, okay, well, I think they're going to have trouble some good sides for the rest of the season, and if things fall their way, they could sneak into 8th.
I know if I tip the Roosters, Manly's going to win, and I know if I tip Manly, the Roosters are going to win.
Well, you're going to have to make a decision.
So, look, I'm going to go Manly because they could easily lose this game, but they could also win 30-6.
It's also DCE up against his new team, isn't it, Molly?
It is.
Yeah. Lock in Manly, I reckon. Lock in Manly.
Right. 2-1 Roosters.
Mate, are we ever going to get an announcement on that, Molly, or what?
Yeah, on January 1.
Yeah, when pre-season starts. Now this will be a bit of chat going around in this next game. Tigers versus the Bulldogs. Caught up with Josh Curran briefly at the start of the week, and he really feels sorry for Galvin. He's copped it like big time, but he said he's a resilient kid. He sort of brushes everything off. He's going to cop it this week again against his old club.
It's really the Luke Galvin Cup, isn't it? That's what they're playing for.
Why does he feel sorry for him?
Oh, look, just social media wise, there's so many trolls out there.
Yeah, I understand that, and I don't advocate that. But
Yeah.
he's done this himself,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. I think where it gets
Or him and his manager, whoever's advising him.
Yes.
Yeah.
well,
I
it's
would
just
like you to
more.
qualify
Look,
that.
you've got to
Yeah.
try and ignore the social media, right? Because we just had a brief discussion, which I won't go into too much detail. But some of the messages some of these players get,
Yeah. You don't
Absolutely
advocate that.
awful.
That's a
And
joke.
it's why most of the players have gone off social media. Like
Yeah.
poor
Yeah.
old Chad Townsend, who's a good mate of mine. He's one of the very few players who's out there everywhere on Twitter and Facebook, and he just cops it. So,
Yeah,
congrats, Chad. Good career and good for you to stick by where a lot of players just couldn't hack it. And I don't blame the other players because it's, death threats, the whole works. It's just terrible.
You know what I will say about the Bulldogs? I was a bit iffy on them before the weekend just gone, and now I think if there was a grand final tomorrow, they could win it.
Yep, they're a good side. I agree with you. And a lot of
and
that
Lockie Galvin,
is Galvin. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And for someone who's 19, regardless of him doing it to himself, the amount of pressure he must have been under to perform with pretty much the Bulldogs going, you know what, we're going to change, we're coming first, but we're going to invest in you and change our entire roster to accommodate for you and style of footy in an attacking perspective, not necessarily defensively, because their system wouldn't change. But for him to come in and really step up, because if he had a half off performance like that, they'd probably lose, and like he'd be, who knows, maybe in New South Wales Cup.
And he'd be copying it from everyone.
And it was a very interesting tactic. Like Serraldo chose not to play him at all and bring him into the coach's box. I thought that was, a more of a sign for Serraldo on how far he's come as coach, just to be able to make that call and then throw him straight in the deep end and him perform immediately. The Bulldogs are in a very, very strong position for the future. I'm a big
they are. I think
club
if they
fan.
don't win it this year, they'll definitely win it next year.
Yeah, and I honestly think they could win this by a fair margin on the weekend.
Yeah, I think the Tigers are shot. They've had enough.
Jacob Kiraz is the fullback.
Jareen Buller is back.
Yeah, that helps. I really rate Buller. I think he's in the top half dozen.
And no Connor
Well,
Tracy.
don't forget he was in the Bulldogs supporters bay the other week. So
yes, and his manager's Isaac Moses. So saying
right.
more.
And Jacob Kiraz for Connor Tracy.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know.
I think about Kiraz at fullback.
Well, Connor Tracy's been the one constant for the Bulldogs, hasn't he, really, this season? He's probably been one of their most consistent players. He's had a career year. So a fullback's a very important position, and I'm not sure Jacob Kiraz is a fullback.
He's a very good player, though. And
He's a very good player, absolutely. Absolutely. So
just don't know how he's going to go out the back of shape in the passing game.
Yeah.
So
he's a ball runner. I don't think he'll be throwing long passes. I think and that'll be the instruction to him. Just do what you do on the wing. Just run the ball up and score tries.
I
think he can do it.
I'm going to tip the Bulldogs, but I give the Tigers a chance. I give them a real chance.
Where is it? Is it at Campbelltown?
Combank.
Oh, of course it is.
I reckon Bulldogs by 20.
Hey, it very well could be. Could be more. Could be more. I tell you, I'm a little bit scared about this last game. The Sharks versus the Cowboys.
Oh, come on, mate.
Yeah,
Shark Park.
It's at Shark Park.
Yeah, but they've had some shockers.
But geez, they were bad last week. They were bad.
Yeah.
They were shocking.
No.
Boys, I'll give the Cowboys a chance.
If the Cowboys come out and just play loose like they did last week, and the Sharks play like bastards like last week, It depends whether Nico Hines is a myth again.
Mate, the Cowboys cannot defend.
I know
They cannot defend.
That's a fair call.
But
Um,
if you're in a position you're in, Dicko, of having to make up points, it's one I'd look at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as clear as what.
we can't be all near the top like you, Molly.
I actually did check where he was. He's going well, Molly.
Well, I'm second, but Middo's too far in front of me and he's too smart. He'll just tip favourites from here on in.
Yeah, well, we've seen some upsets, so that might not be the tactic.
Yeah,
I'll-
but I
I'll-
don't tip upsets. He knows how I think.
I'll tip the Sharks in this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'll tip Sharks, but this honestly could be like a shootout.
It's a good Sunday Arvo game, actually. It's a good last game of the round. Really good game
Could
to
be a
finish.
shootout.
Yeah.
I wonder who the ref is. I hope it's Ashley Klein.
Oh,
No,
geez.
it's Adam G.
Adam G. All right. Well, thanks, gents. Great week again. Good luck in the tipping. Hopefully a couple of upsets in there. And we'll see you all next week.
See you, mate.
Sounds good.